People do not control you because they are stronger than you. They control you because you are addicted to being liked. That is the part nobody wants to admit. You call it kindness. You call it maturity. You call it being the bigger person. But deep down, you know the truth. You soften your words because you fear tension. You explain yourself because you fear being misunderstood. You apologize because silence feels dangerous. You say yes because someone might feel disappointed. You laugh off disrespect because conflict makes your stomach tighten. That is not peace. That is fear with good manners. Machiavelli understood that power does not care about your intentions. Power responds to perception, timing, access, and control. If people can predict your need for approval, they can manage you. If they know you hate discomfort, they can pressure you. If they know you will always smooth things over, they can cross the line and wait for you to clean up the tension. By the end of this video, you will learn 7 psychological shifts that take you from being nice and easy to move, to calm, strategic, and impossible to manipulate. This is not about becoming cruel. It is about becoming control. Before we begin, drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose leverage. Number 1. Stop seeking psychological safety. Nice people do not fear danger. They fear discomfort. That is why they are so easy to control. They need every room to feel smooth, every conversation to end peacefully, every disagreement to be softened before it becomes real. They hear tension rising and immediately rush to fix it. They smile, they explain, they apologize, they dilute their own truth. They do not do this because they are noble. They do it because discomfort feels like a threat. Psychologically, your nervous system learns to avoid friction when friction has been associated with rejection, punishment, or emotional instability. If you grew up needing to manage other people's moods, you may now mistake tension for danger. Your body reacts before your mind can choose. But a strategist trains himself differently. He does not chase safety, he evaluates outcome. Machiavelli would see this clearly. The person who cannot tolerate tension cannot hold position. The moment someone applies pressure, he bends, not because the other person is right, but because discomfort feels unbearable. That is how manipulation begins. Someone gives you a cold tone. You over-explain. Someone looks disappointed. You change your boundary. Someone challenges you publicly. You rush to defend yourself. Someone goes silent. You fill the space. And every time you rescue the room from discomfort, you teach people that your position can be moved by emotional pressure. Here's what most people never notice. Tension reveals hierarchy. When the air gets uncomfortable, people show who they really are. One person starts adjusting. One person starts explaining. One person starts laughing nervously. One person stays calm. The calm person controls the temperature. That does not mean being aggressive. It means being grounded enough to let a moment exist without panicking. A controlled man can allow silence. He can allow disagreement. He can allow someone to feel uncomfortable without immediately sacrificing his own standards. Imagine someone says, "You've changed." A nice person panics. He starts explaining. "No, I haven't changed like that. I just have a lot going on. I still care. I didn't mean it that way." Now he is defending his growth like it is a crime. A strategic person pauses, looks calmly, then says, "Yes, I have." That is it. No speech, no emotional repair, no begging to be understood. Just position. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That is not soft philosophy, that is battlefield psychology. Control yourself before you let the room control you. The old identity needs emotional safety. The new standard tolerates pressure. Weak people avoid discomfort to stay liked. Strong people allow discomfort to stay aligned. Average people smooth everything over. Strategic people let tension reveal truth. The man who cannot tolerate tension will always be ruled by the person willing to create it. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I do not fear tension. Number 2. Detach from immediate approval. Approval is sweet poison. It feels good. it feels warm, it feels human, and then it makes you adjustable. The need to be liked right now is one of the easiest handles other people can grab. Once someone knows you crave approval, they do not need to overpower you. They only need to threaten withdrawal. A colder tone, a delayed reply, a disappointed look, a small joke at your expense, a hint that you are being difficult. Suddenly, you shrink. You change your tone. You soften the boundary. You say more than needed. You start chasing the room again. That is not influence. That is emotional dependence. Psychologically, social approval activates reward circuits in the brain. Being accepted feels safe because humans are wired for belonging. But when belonging becomes a need instead of a preference, your behavior stops being chosen. It becomes managed by fear. A strategist understands something brutal. Respect is often delayed. Approval is immediate. And weak people choose immediate approval over long-term respect because they cannot stand the empty space between the two. Machiavelli's world was not built on being liked. It was built on perception. He knew people judge strength through patterns. If your pattern is constant approval seeking, people may enjoy you, but they will not move carefully around you. Being liked is not the same as being respected. Being agreeable is not the same as being valued. Being easy to deal with is not the same as being powerful. Now comes the dangerous part. Some people around you do not want the real you. They want the version of you that is easier to use. They liked you more when you had no boundaries. They liked you more when you answered instantly. They liked you more when you accepted disrespect quietly. They liked you more when your energy was always available. So when you start changing, they call you cold. They call you arrogant. They call you selfish. No, you are just no longer convenient. A powerful person slows the moment down. Pause, observe, choose. This is not passivity. This is command. Machiavelli would understand the danger of visible reaction. Emotional speed gives your opponent a map. Once people learn your triggers, they know where to apply pressure. But delay creates uncertainty. It forces the other person to sit with their own words. It shifts discomfort back onto them. A powerful person slows the moment down. Pause, observe, choose. This is not passivity. This is command. Machiavelli would understand the danger of visible reaction. Emotional speed gives your opponent a map. Once people learn your triggers, they know where to apply pressure. But delay creates uncertainty. It forces the other person to sit with their own words. It shifts discomfort back onto them. Imagine someone insults you in front of others. The nice person laughs nervously. The insecure person attacks back. The approval seeker explains why the insult is unfair. The strategist pauses. He holds eye contact. He lets the room feel the weight of what was said. Then he responds calmly. Interesting thing to say out loud. That sentence does more than a heated comeback. It does not beg. It does not chase. It does not explode. It places the pressure back where it belongs. Here's what most people never notice. Silence is not empty. Silence is a mirror. Now comes the dangerous part. Your urgency is often not responsibility. It is anxiety. You answer quickly because waiting feels uncomfortable. You explain quickly because being misread feels unbearable. You agree quickly because disappointment scares you. You defend quickly because your ego wants relief. Slow down. A controlled man does not let urgency dictate identity. He decides when to speak. He decides how much to say. He decides whether the moment deserves his attention. The old identity reacts to relieve pressure. The new standard delays to preserve control. Weak people are rushed by fear. Strong people move by decision. Average people answer because silence scares them. Strategic people use silence to control rhythm. The pause before your response can carry more authority than the response itself. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I control the tempo. Number 4. Make kindness selective. Unlimited kindness becomes cheap. That sentence will offend people who confuse kindness with self-erasure. But it is true. If your time is available to everyone, it loses weight. If your forgiveness is automatic, it loses meaning. If your patience has no limit, it becomes permission. If your support is given to people who disrespect you, your support becomes a resource for your own decline. Psychologically, people value what has conditions, scarcity, and consequence. When something is always available, the brain adapts to it. It becomes expected, and what is expected is rarely respected. This is why automatic kindness trains entitlement. Someone crosses a line. You stay warm. Someone ignores your boundary. You explain gently again. Someone only contacts you when they need something. You still answer. Someone drains your energy. You keep calling it compassion. No. At some point, compassion without discernment becomes cooperation with your own manipulation. Machiavelli understood access as power. Not everyone gets the same level of proximity. Not everyone gets the same information. Not everyone gets the same warmth. Power belongs to the person who controls access deliberately. A controlled man is not cruel. He is calibrated. He rewards effort. He reinforces loyalty. He invests in people who show integrity. He supports those who respect the standard. But when someone repeatedly disrespects his boundaries, he withdraws energy without drama. Less time, less explanation, less emotional availability, less access. That is not revenge. That is structure. What is always given is rarely valued. Now comes the dangerous part. Some of you are not kind. You are afraid to withdraw. You say, "That is just who I am." No, that is who you became when you learned that people only liked you when you were useful. The old identity gives to be accepted. The new standard gives to reinforce alignment. Weak people confuse kindness with access. Strong people make kindness meaningful. Average people give until they resent. Strategic people invest where respect exists. Kindness without standards is not virtue. It is an open door for users. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My energy is earned. Number 5. Stop chasing closure. You do not need every conversation wrapped in a bow. You do not need every person to understand you. You do not need every disagreement resolved tonight. You do not need to explain every motive, every boundary, every silence, every decision, every change. That hunger for closure is one of the quietest ways people control you. They know you cannot stand unfinished tension, so they leave things unclear. They withhold emotional resolution. They act cold and wait for you to chase. They create confusion and watch you over-explain. They ask one vague question and let your insecurity write a whole speech. Nice people chase clarity because ambiguity feels unsafe. Strategic people know when to let uncertainty remain. Number 6. Treat every interaction as a power exchange. There are no neutral interactions. That does not mean you become paranoid. It means you become awake. Every conversation teaches people something about your position. Every time you speak, you signal. Every time you laugh, you signal. Every time you explain, you signal. Every time you tolerate, you signal. Every time you withdraw, you signal. People are always learning how to approach you. The question is whether you are teaching them consciously or accidentally. Now comes the dangerous part. Nice people often confuse being low maintenance with being low value. They accept crumbs and call it understanding. They tolerate one-sided effort and call it patience. They keep adapting and call it maturity. No. Sometimes you are not mature. You are just scared to make people meet a standard. Imagine a workplace meeting. Someone interrupts you twice. The nice person laughs and lets it happen. The aggressive person snaps. The strategist continues calmly and says, "Let me finish." No anger, no apology, no speech, just correction. That single moment teaches the room more than a long complaint ever could. Who is explaining more? Who is adapting more? Who is afraid to pause? Who is afraid to leave? Who holds ground? Who bends? Here's what most people never notice. Effort imbalance creates status imbalance. If you are always the one keeping the conversation alive, you are training pursuit. If you are always the one explaining your tone, you are training judgment. If you are always the one apologizing first, you are training guilt. If you are always the one available, you are training low value. Small things become reputation. Now comes the dangerous part. Nice people often confuse being low maintenance with being low value. They accept crumbs and call it understanding. They tolerate one-sided effort and call it patience. They keep adapting and call it maturity. No. Sometimes you are not mature. You are just scared to make people meet a standard. Imagine a workplace meeting. Someone interrupts you twice. The nice person laughs and lets it happen. The aggressive person snaps. The strategist continues calmly and says, "Let me finish." No anger, no apology, no speech, just correction. That single moment teaches the room more than a long complaint ever could. Number 7, design your reputation intentionally. If you do not shape your reputation, people will shape it for you. And they will not shape it based on your intentions. They will shape it based on your patterns. This is the final shift. Nice people hope to be understood. Strategic people design how they are experienced. Your reputation is not built by what you claim. It is built by what repeats. This is why reputation is leverage. Psychologically, repeated behavior creates expectation. Once people predict your response, they adjust their strategy. If your pattern is weak, they use it. If your pattern is strong, they respect it before conflict even begins. Machiavelli understood appearance as political reality. People judge what they see repeated. They watch your behavior and build a story about you. A powerful person asks a cold question before reacting. What does this teach people about me? Before you answer disrespect, ask it. Before you explain yourself, ask it. One weak pattern repeated long enough becomes your identity in other people's minds. Not because you are truly weak, but because you kept demonstrating weakness. That is brutal, but it is also freedom. Because if reputation is built by repetition, it can be rebuilt by repetition. You become calm by practicing calm. You become respected by enforcing standards. You become hard to manipulate by removing handles. You become powerful by aligning behavior with the image you want to create. Stop being nice if nice means being easy to manipulate. Stop calling fear kindness. Stop calling approval love. Stop calling avoidance peace. Stop calling self-abandonment maturity. You learned 7 shifts. Stop seeking psychological safety. Detach from immediate approval. Control the tempo with delay. Make kindness selective. Stop chasing closure. Treat every interaction as a power exchange. Design your reputation intentionally. This is not motivation. This is identity replacement. The old identity needed the room to feel smooth. The new identity can stand in tension. The old identity chased approval. The new identity chooses alignment. The old identity reacted instantly. The new identity controls tempo. The old identity gave kindness automatically. The new identity makes energy earned. The old identity over-explained. The new identity speaks with restraint. The old identity moved blindly through conversations. The new identity reads the exchange. The old identity hoped to be understood. The new identity shapes perception. Machiavelli did not teach cruelty. He taught awareness. He taught that people respond to power, timing, perception, and consequence. Stoicism does not teach passivity. It teaches self-command. And self-command is the foundation of every form of influence. Now you have a decision. You can keep being the person who makes everyone comfortable while quietly betraying himself. Or you can become the person who moves with calm, speaks with weight, gives access selectively, and cannot be controlled by approval, guilt, silence, or emotional pressure. Like this video, if it exposed a pattern you are done repeating. Subscribe for more videos on Machiavelli Mindset, discipline, power, emotional control, silence, and identity transformation. Share this with someone who keeps confusing being nice with being respected. And drop this final affirmation in the comments. I choose leverage. Remember this. Nice survives by being accepted. Power leads by being respected.